I wanted to read a chapter from my book, and it's about embracing our divine and innate sensuality. So, choosing to view sensuality simply as a practice that can simplify the magic all around us, that we so often feel disconnected from, rather than as something implicitly sexual, means that seeing images of people in the nude, such as a lot of my own online material and a lot of the people that I shout out, is in no way sexually inappropriate, provocative, or dirty or offensive, or any of the other labels that are often aimed at us who are sharing our art. As it is, however, the human body has become sexualized to a confusing extent. Why, for example, are nipples and vaginas and some childbirth related censored in many places? These things create and sustain life, yet society has twisted the truth so beautifully that we think we may somehow damage lives by showing them. In fact, we have been only messaged that in the recent times. And our conditioning within this context means it can be really difficult to feel comfortable enough to bear it all, to be human without the masks, whatever that may look like. Yet a naked body is the most natural thing that there is. We were born this way after all, so wouldn't it be amazing to just relax and honor and embrace it instead of judging each other? It's important to be aware that while connecting with our own sensuality, it's one of the most beautiful feelings in the world. Choosing to lay this bare for others, whatever that might mean to each of us and however that might look, brings with a certain vulnerability. And as we expose ourselves to other people who may or may not view our form of sensual self-expression as appropriate within their own spheres of thinking, it becomes a completely different story also with the social media. Because as Brene Brown says, vulnerability is one of the most truest strengths in the world. But just like a lotus flower, which rises and blossoms from the darkness and mud, so too will we only truly blossom into the fullest form through sense of vulnerability, through taking off our masks. Only through knowing the pain that it can bring will we learn to be more understanding, compassionate, and brave and beautiful within ourselves. And I know that there's been many times that the pain has caused me to question my validity, to question myself as a mother from others and their projections and their stories, and the world's messages that come around in this world. But I also know that now when I look at someone's body, when I look at someone's art, I don't have judgment. I don't feel as they are going to be a bad something or inappropriate because of the clothes they wear. I see the true form of the human body and the gifts that it gives us in our own life. And it's something that I want to share with you because we have only got this message that it's, it's pure sexuality, and sexuality coexists with sensuality. And sensuality, had I not started using it, I wouldn't be able to tell you the touch of my skin, the touch of these clothes, that they're soft, the touch of someone being intimate. I would have been too numb to feel any of that. I wouldn't have been able to feel the beat of the music and start dancing. I wouldn't have been able to tell you the tastes of some food because I was so numb from darkness, depression, labelization, and everything that encompassed my depression. And as soon as I started connecting back with my sensuality, which is the 5 senses, and then it comes into play as erotica when you want it to, but it also comes into the 5 senses of using your body through yoga, through talking, through the energy connection, through someone, through being a mother and smelling the beautiful scent of your child, and so on. So the body as a work of art. We can admire physical perfection like we can admire a painting. However, like any art, the human body only becomes truly great when it makes us really feel something. And it only became a lifesaver to me when I started feeling again, when I started to breathe again. It saved me from my depression. It saved me from falling back into darkness. It saved me and made me a better human, a better mother, more compassionate, more loving. It saved me completely. So let's reclaim our bodies and the sensuality that comes with it. and experience ourselves as the masterpieces that we were born to be. If you like a little help with this, there is many exercises that you can do, and I have one in my book, and you'll see that when it comes out. But at the end of the day, why I wanted to read you a couple of components of that is that when I worked on that part of my book, it was really overwhelming because it's so hard to find the way in which people will understand it, because most of us understand messages from our conscious level. But sensuality and reclaiming our bodies and body love is the most powerful thing. I also found when I found self-trust in myself, I became a better trusting person in the world. I became more compassionate and kind. But when I didn't have self-trust, I was judgmental and shaming because I didn't know my stories. I didn't know the truth. So reclaiming our sensuality is so important.